Have you ever had a Google Sheet that contains a lot of collected information and you don't know how to make it make sense? I'm Stephanie with Archangel, and I'm back for another Tech Tip Tuesday so that I can teach you some easy tricks for using sorting and filtering within Google Sheets to help make that data make a little bit more sense. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at my hypothetical information. And what I've done is pretend that I'm going on a field trip with students, and I have used those students to collect some data. And I want to sort and filter this data to make my life a little bit easier when I'm organizing information for this field trip. So you can see that the first thing I did was I actually applied some basic formatting tools to my data, such as centering the headers and also making them a little bit bigger of a font and also bolding it so that it's just a little bit easier to read and to view. I'm going to select all of this information by hitting Control A. And what this does is just selects your data so that any rules that you put in place apply to all of the cells that you've selected. I'm going to go up here to Data and Sort Range. You might have used sorting range for putting things in alphabetical order, and that's the most basic thing that you can do. But I want to show you just a little bit deeper how you can sort all of your information based on the headers that you've put in place. So we're going to go down here to Advanced Range Sorting Options, and we're going to click it. And once I click it, you'll see that this box is unchecked. Data has a header row, and it defaults to just naming the columns. That's fine if you want to use that, but we did all this work in putting in header names, so we're going to actually use our header names. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to click, and you'll see all of my header names appear. And I'll come down here, and let's say I just want to sort by class period. I just want to see my first period class, my second period, third period, fourth period, etc. And what it does is it changes all of my information, my data, so that it is sorted by my class period. Now, let's say I want to view my class period, but I also want to see what students are in my class period are grouped in the same assignment together. So I'm going to come back up here to sort range and go to my advanced options. I again have to check the box that says data has a header row, and that gives us the names. So I'm going to check class period, and then I'm going to add another sorting column. And once I do that, I can go down here to group assignment, and I can select group assignment and I hit sort. And what that does is it puts all of my students who are in the same group in the same period together so that I can just select this information and I can see what students are in which group. Now, let's pretend that we want to erase that information. We want to go back to our original formatting, and we want to see what students have lunch choices. Let's say that we want to view by simply lunch choices. So we're going to again hit Control A to select our information, go to Data and sort the range, and then we take a look and we select Data has a header row, and we go by our lunch choices and we hit sort. Now we can easily see how many students have ordered ham, roast beef, salad, etc. There is actually an easier way to do this. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to teach you some filtering rules that you can apply. So again, Control A to select, and I go up here to data and then create a filter. And what this does when I hit uh, create a filter is that it puts this little upside down triangle or a filter in the corner of each of my selected boxes. Now, you have to make sure that you select all of your information, because if you just click a random box over here and you select create a filter, it'll put this little box over here, which doesn't actually do anything for us. So we want to make sure that we select our information, our data, and then we apply the create a filter rule. You will notice that this applies up to each of the individual columns. Well, one thing I want you to take a look at and notice is that we have a couple of options to sort. You can sort it in A to Z or Z to A. You can absolutely sort it by color if you have color filled in, or you can do it by condition. However, I want you to come down here to these individual boxes. And what you will see is all of the information in that particular column, and it's highlighted. So let's just say I want to view all of the students who are getting a size extra large shirt, and I can hit OK. All of a sudden, it takes out all of this information and gives you just the information that you've asked for. And I'm going to come up here, I'm going to move myself up here, and you'll notice that something that's really interesting is you can select and highlight that column, and it gives you a count. No more counting to try and see how many of what size you need to order. It's right there for you. All I have to hit is Control Z, and we go back to information. Let's say we want to show just the students who are in group orange. So we're going to come down, we're going to select our filter. We're going to unselect everything except group orange, and that'll show us all of the students that are in group orange. So what you can do is you can print just this page for your chaperones and give them the student information for just their group. That way you're not going through and highlighting several pages of information. I hit Control Z, and then also we can utilize the filtering rules for students who have paid and who have not paid. So you can easily keep that list available to you and see which students still need to pay for their field trip. I hope that this information is a little bit easier to use for filtering and sorting your data, and hopefully it takes taking a lot of information and making it into more manageable pieces for you. I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. God bless.